Mock Draft Monday yet again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Draft Hub. And this is my 2026 NFL mock draft after week 3 of the 2025-26 NFL season. Now, granted, I am cheating just a little bit. And the reason why I'm cheating just a little bit is I'm recording this at 8:30 on Sunday night. So technically, this isn't the exact draft order after 3 weeks of the NFL season because we still have the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants playing, and we still have the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions that have to play tomorrow night. But I do like to get these videos out to you guys in the afternoon on Monday, especially in the early part of the season, because I don't think the draft order really matters that much because let's face it, I don't think when the end of the season comes around, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be picking number 6, which this is the first mock draft on this channel this year that we are using the actual draft order up until this point. So shout out to Draftathon or Tankathon, sorry, not Draftathon, Tankathon for putting the up to the minute NFL draft order in the actual order. So this is what it looks like before we get started. We have the Jets, the Saints, the Tennessee Titans, Miami Dolphins, Houston Texans, Kansas City Chiefs, New York Giants. These two are asterisk because these two have technically not played a game yet this week. The Patriots, the Raiders, the Denver Broncos, and then so on and so forth. So it's a wacky order. So that's what I'm really trying to get to. So this is going to be a fun mock draft. I have a lot of fun picks in there. I believe this is the second mock draft where I have 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round, and maybe a name that's new to these mock drafts up until this point. So before we get into this mock draft, if you guys enjoy content like this and college football content, NFL draft content, I'm doing it all every single day. We have uploaded every single day for the last 2 weeks as soon as the NFL season started. That's usually when I start to upload every day on my old channel and on this channel as well. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you like this. So let's get into it right away. So we have the New York Jets, my New York Jets here at number 1. And man, let me tell you, I didn't even feel a single shred of emotion when the Jets lost a heartbreaker to a last-second field goal. Granted, it was a really, really exciting game. You know, the Jets were kind of dead in the water for a while there. They were losing 23-10 with about 10 minutes left in the game. Wound up losing on a last-second field goal, 29-27. I felt nothing because really at this point in the season, I know there's only 3 games. We're 3 games in. I felt like the win really would have meant nothing. If this regime is going to get off to the right foot, I say lose as many games as possible. I don't say try and tank. I hate the term tank, but yeah, I mean, a win there really wouldn't have done anything. Well, I mean, maybe it would have because the Jets would have been 1-2, and then they're playing the Dolphins on Monday Night Football next week, so they could have been 2-2. Yeah, all right, maybe it would have done something for them. But regardless, they're 0-3, and if the NFL draft started tomorrow, the New York Jets have the number 1 overall pick, and we are going to use that number 1 overall pick on Fernando Mendoza, coming off of an unbelievable game against number 9 Illinois. I didn't expect the Indiana Hoosiers to drop 63 points on a Brett Bielema-led defense, so that was certainly surprising there. Unbelievable performance. Fernando Mendoza cemented himself firmly as my quarterback 1 this week. It was a close race. I did mention in his prospect profile, which is one of the content pieces that I do. I try to do 2 or 3 a week of different types of prospects for the upcoming NFL draft, and Fernando Mendoza just so happened to be mine on Saturday, and I did say it was a close race between him and Lenora Sellers as my number 1 overall quarterback. And Mendoza, granted, Sellers did put in a pretty good performance against Missouri this week as well, but Mendoza was unbelievable against one of the toughest defenses in college football. I think that he would run this RPO-based Tanner Engstrand offense really, really well. He had some experience with it in Cal, but I mean, Kurt Cignetti and his offensive staff really like to spread the ball around. They like to score. They like to go RPO heavy. I think he'd be a perfect fit in New York for my New York Jets. At number 2 overall, we have the Saints. Now, last week at number 1 overall, I had them take Reuben Bain Jr., and I would love to do this again, but I truly think, especially, I mean, really, the defense kind of faulted the New Orleans Saints this week. They lost 44-13 to the Seattle Seahawks. They really didn't stand a single chance. I mean, it was 38-3 at halftime. So really, they kind of just coasted in the second half there. But we're going to go back to the quarterback because, I mean, what is Spencer Rattler's dinking and dunking going to do every single week. But yeah, we're going to take my quarterback that I just spoke about quite highly as well. We're going to take Lenoris Sellers here. I think that this would be a really, really great pick for them. He just adds such an unbelievable aspect to an offense, especially transitioning to the NFL. I believe he has the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this class, transitioning to the NFL. Now, a lot of people might say, oh, he's Anthony Richardson 2.0. I don't think that's true. Lenoris Sellers actually looks like an NFL quarterback. He's learning how to play the quarterback position while playing it well already. Whereas Anthony Richardson, he just had probably the most raw talent we've ever seen from a quarterback prospect. He just wasn't able to put it all together, or at least up until this point in his career. I think Sellers would probably take a year to transition, and then we'd really see some unbelievable performances from him as he develops. So Sellers is my pick at number 2 overall, which subsequently means that my number 1 overall pick last week, Ruben Bain Jr., falls to the Tennessee Titans. Again, another team that's just desperate off the edge for some, actual juice. I think Ruben Bain Jr. is the best player in the entire draft class. A lot of people might say Caleb Downs. Some people might say Peter Woods. Some even might say Lenoris Sellers or Garrett Nussmeier. I disagree. I do think it's Ruben Bain Jr. The guy is borderline unstoppable every single week. He has the highest pass rush win rate of any edge in the FBS up until this point. He is a fantastic run defender. He's an immediate plug-and-play starter, and he's probably the immediate best pass rusher on the outside that the Tennessee Titans have. So give me Ruben Bain Jr. at number 3 overall. At number 4 overall, this is where it got a little tricky for me. You have the Miami Dolphins. They can go so many different ways. I truly don't think that a quarterback is in the realm of possibility for this year's draft class. And also, I really don't think Tua is the whole issue. I mean, I think he's played, except for the Indianapolis Colts game, the other 2 games, I think he's played fairly well up until this point. He put the Miami Dolphins in a position to win quite a few times against the Buffalo Bills, in my opinion. It's just the defense wasn't really able to hold. But I think the offensive line still needs help. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can go. I was even considering Jordan Tyson here at number 4 overall. I think it's a little too rich for my blood, to be honest with you. In this spot, and you guys can criticize me all you want for this one, in this spot when I'm looking for a place to go when a team just has so many different holes, I tend to go to the offensive line. That's usually what I do because I believe the game of football is still won and lost in the trenches. And they spent a first-round pick on Kenneth Grant this past year. He looks pretty solid so far. I think another offensive tackle is 100% in the realm of possibility. I know they have Patrick Paul. Teron Armstead retiring left a really big hole on the left side. On the right side as well, they have a hole. I think Spencer Fano would make a lot of sense. He has starting upside at both tackle positions. He's extremely athletic. He's probably the best tackle, the best all-around tackle in the entire draft class. And you get him here at number 4 because that gives you so much to pivot off of because in 2027 or even later on in the 2026 draft, if you do want to draft that quarterback that entices you, you already have another extremely important position anchored down with a premium pick in Spencer Fano. So that's what we're going to go with here at number 4 overall. At number 5, unfamiliar territory for the Houston Texans here at number 5. So why not go with a pick that's just going to make you immediately better? So again, I was looking at the offensive line, but the secondary, especially the safety position, looks a little thin for me. Now that they have Jalen Petrie basically playing full-time nickel, the strong safety position's a little weak. I mean, the depth at the safety position overall is just really weak. D'Amico Ryans is a defensive-minded coach. Why not get the potential best overall player in the entire draft class if you're sitting here at number 5, and he'll just make your defense better? That's Downs. I think immediately steps into a start and just is unbelievable. Really, really good young secondary. Kamari Lash, Derek Stingley, mentioned Jalen Petrie as well. They have a lot of nice players. Kalen Bullock. They have a lot of nice players around. So why not add an alpha to that secondary and get Caleb Downs? Like I said, this is a different scenario. I mean, I don't expect the Houston Texans or the Kansas City Chiefs to be drafting this high. So why not swing for the fences and go for those home run hitting prospects? Now, here, at number 6 with the Kansas City Chiefs. In any other mock draft so far this year, the Chiefs really haven't had an opportunity to get a high-impact, explosive player in the top 10. So he's sitting here at number 6, even though this order is probably going to be changed by tomorrow. At number 6, I'm looking for the most explosive player I could find on the offensive side of the ball. And it's clear to me through 2 games so far that the Kansas City Chiefs cannot run the football. Who better to change those fortunes than Jeremiah Love? I mean, you put Jeremiah Love in the backfield with Patrick Mahomes, this offense, and a healthy Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, hopefully learning how to drive, get off, and Marquise Hollywood Brown staying healthy. You talk about a ton of speed, a ton of grit, a ton of physicality. That offense is unbelievable from day one. Give me Jeremiah Love here at number 6 overall for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like I said, unfamiliar territory, so why not swing for the fences with a home run hitting prospect? At number 7, you have the New York Giants. This is a pick that I make every week. It's going to be boring. I'm going to make it again. I think Caleb Lomu just makes a ton of sense here for the New York Giants. Like I said, I don't think the Giants have really had an outstanding need anywhere else. I think they've actually done really well through the first 2+ games with what they have. I know that's a really small sample size, but the receiving core looks kind of okay. You could probably add a receiver later on. I think adding someone like Jordan Tyson here at number 7, I don't want to say it's counterintuitive, but because obviously he's going to be such a phenomenal player, so it will do something for the Giants, but I don't think it really makes a lot of sense here. Theo Johnson is coming into his own at the tight end position as well. I think the Giants really do need an offensive lineman here. Like I said, Jermaine Illuminor is going to be a free agent. He could easily be upgraded upon, so give me Caleb Lomu as someone who has been playing left tackle for the Utah Utes, but he can slide over and play right tackles all he has starting. Both of these tackles at Utah have starting potential at both sides of the offensive line, so I think Lomu makes just a ton of sense there. At number 8, usually the Kansas City, the New England Patriots are picking a little bit lower in this mock draft for me. Now they're at top 10 position. Usually this pick is Francis Mauigoa for me, but we're going to go to the outside linebacker position here. And we're going to take Keldrick Falk. I just think that he really did show out against Oklahoma. His name came up a ton. He is an absolute stud. He's a player that wears his 6'5", 282-pound frame extremely well. He's extremely athletic. He's incredibly disruptive. And if a certain player named Reuben Bain Jr. didn't exist in this class, I'm pretty sure Keldrick Falk would far and away be the best, at least the best edge rusher in this class. So give me Keldrick Falk to the New England Patriots at number 8. Kind of an easy upgrade over Harold Landry III, in my opinion there. At number 9 overall, you have the Las Vegas Raiders. And this is a pick that I've made for 2 straight weeks. I'm going to make it again. I'm sorry if that gets boring for you guys. I'm not just going to make different picks just for the sake of making different picks. It has to make at least a little bit of sense. It has to be best player available or a massive need. And watching the wide receiver group for the Washington Commanders torch the secondary of the Las Vegas Raiders just tells me that Jermod McCoy is going to be the pick here for me, or at least a cornerback. I do trust Jermod McCoy when he is healthy, probably more than almost everyone in this draft class. I do like Mansour Delaney quite a bit. He just continues to grow on me as probably an overall cornerback 1 when it's all said and done, but we still haven't seen Jermod McCoy play. I'm pretty sure. I know he didn't play in the first 2 weeks. He didn't play. Yeah, he hasn't played yet up until this point. Still out, still recovering from that ACL injury. But when he comes back, I expect him to fully be just as good as he was before the injury. So we're going to take Jermod McCoy here at number 9. At number 10 overall, you have the Denver Broncos. And again, unfamiliar territory here. Why not make a splash pick here? This is a team that genuinely, even though they're 1-2 at this point, genuinely, I don't see many holes. You can upgrade. Not upgrade for the now, upgrade for the long term, the tackle positions here. Mauigoa would make a lot of sense. Caden Proctor is someone that I don't love, but a lot of people do for some reason. Gennings Dunker, I think, is really good. Isaiah World is a player that I think has left tackle, right tackle potential. I'm not feeling it at number 10 overall. The only player I'd feel is probably Mauigoa, but I think it's still too early. I think you can get someone like Austin Barber or Caleb Tiernan in the second round, maybe even Xavier Chaplin at the end of the first, and be completely fine. I don't think you need to spend a top 10 pick if you're not going to go with Mauigoa. So I'm going to go wild card here. I'm going to take Kenyon Sadiq here at number 10 overall. I think the guy is unbelievable. He's easily the best all-around tight end prospect in this draft class. He is an unbelievable blocker. He's a phenomenal receiver. He kind of really needed to put it all together this year. I don't think that there's a player that has boosted their draft stock in 2026 or the 2025 season more than Kenyon Sadiq. The guy has been unbelievable as a receiver. We knew what he brought to the table as a pass blocker. or just as a blocker in general. But seriously, an unbelievable player from top to bottom. I think he is certainly worthy of a top 10 pick at this point. At number 11, you have the Cleveland Browns here. And the Cleveland Browns coming off of an extremely shocking victory over the Green Bay Packers, 13-10. What a snooze fest of a game. But those are the type of games that the Cleveland Browns are going to win. And honestly, kudos to them, because in really the, 11 out of the 12 quarters of football they've played up until this point, they've actually been in every single game. The fourth quarter of last week against the Ravens, got away from them really, really quickly. But other than that, they have been playing some really ugly but competitive football. So I don't think their pick is going to be as high as we really think. I don't think we're looking at a team that's going to be picking inside the top 3. I think we're probably looking at a team that's picking from 7 to maybe 12 or 13. But you could still get a really good quarterback at this point. I still think quarterback is the number one need. Now, I'm going to take Garrett Nussmeier here. A lot of people have asked in the last couple of weeks where Nussmeier has been in my mock drafts, and I'll be honest with you guys. I am not the biggest fan of Nussmeier. I love his grip it and rip it, fearless attitude. I love the arm talent. I don't love that he puts the ball in harm's way far too much. His decision making just isn't sustainable at the NFL level, in my opinion. I don't love his frame either, but he does have certain intangibles that I like quite a bit. So a lot of people are super high on Nuss. I have to do this with a little bit of realism. I can't leave him out just because I don't like him. I shouldn't say I don't like him. I don't like him as much as others. I still think he's probably worthy of a top 40 pick. I don't know if I would pick him in the first round, though. That's just me. But I'm going to say Garrett Nussmeier here at number 11. At number 12, you have the Carolina Panthers here. We're going to go off the edge. I really, to be quite honest with you, after the performance that the Carolina Panthers defense put up against the Atlanta Falcons at home was sensational. 30-0. I think that's the first blank of the 2025 NFL season. They silenced this powerful Atlanta Falcons offense quite substantially. The secondary looked really good, which didn't look good in the first couple weeks. I do think we go back to the edge here, because off the edge just is not great, especially this season and going forward. I think TJ Parker is an unbelievable all-around player. It was either going to be Parker or Howell here at number 12, but I think Parker just is way more of a complete player than Cassius Howell is, even though I do love him. He was my first NFL draft prospect profile of this year, but TJ Parker just brings that all-around athleticism. He's a great run defender as well. Give me TJ Parker, and probably steps in, just like Reuben Bin and Keldrick Falk, probably steps right in and is the number one overall pass rusher for the team that he gets drafted by. At number 13 overall, the Dallas Cowboys are jumping for joy. I said a couple weeks ago that the Dallas Cowboys and trying to find a long-term defensive tackle is a struggle that we've seen for quite some time. They drafted Mozzie Smith. It didn't really work out. Osa Odigizua has been pretty good for them since he's been drafted. And they just got Kenny Clark in the Micah Parsons deal. I think Peter Woods would be an unbelievable pick here at number 13. I think it's clear after watching the Chicago Bears game, I think it's clear that maybe the first 4 picks for the Dallas Cowboys needs to be defense, because really, I think their defense is going down the tubes very, very fast, and it starts on the defensive line. I think Peter Woods would be an immediate upgrade over anyone, maybe outside of Kenny Clark, that they have, and at this point in Kenny Clark's career, Peter Woods is probably a younger, cheaper, upgradable option as well. So we're going to go Peter Woods here at number 13. Can't believe he falls to number 13, but stranger things have happened. So the Clemson boys, despite being 1-3, go back-to-back at 12 and 13. At number 14 here, you have the LA Rams, who lost a heartbreaker to the Philadelphia Eagles away from home. They were a kick away from being 3-0 and being right there as one of the top teams in the NFC. Again, I've made this pick quite a bit. I'm going to make it again. I do think Matthew Stafford is on his last legs. I've been saying that for 2 years now, and I'm just going to keep running with it until the wheels fall off. Drew Aller, to me, is probably the most perfect upgrade for a Sean McVay. To me, he kind of resembles just a more athletic, physically stronger version of Matthew Stafford at his best. I don't think he is even close to being as accurate as Matthew Stafford is. Matthew Stafford puts in some unbelievable passes week in and week out. He truly is one of the best throwers of the football that we've seen in the 2000s, and I do think he deserves some credit for that. But Drew Aller, to me, is that younger, more athletic upside quarterback that Sean McVay is probably going to want to move this team in the direction once Matthew Stafford inevitably retires. So we're going to go Drew Aller here at number 14. At number you Chicago Bears. And if you did watch, like I just mentioned, that Dallas Cowboys game with the Chicago Bears, really facet of theirs that looked really bad. They made tremendous from this week. Now, granted, CeeDee Lamb was ruled out of the game very, very early, so they were able to adjust their game plan. But they did force, four turnovers? Four turnovers, I believe they forced, a fumble recovery and 3 interceptions. They looked good on the passing side of the defense. The run defense still looks really bad. I mean, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams, you want to talk about unks. That's 2 unks in the backfield right there for the Dallas Cowboys. They carved up the Chicago Bears defensive line like a Christmas ham. Give me Caleb Banks here. I know Banks has only played, 1 game so far this year, but he is just so impactful and so unbelievable and incredibly disruptive from the interior of the defensive line. I don't even care if he only plays 1 game this season. 6'6", 325 pounds, incredibly nimble for his size. Like I said, disruptive, is always in the backfield. That's exactly what this Chicago Bears defense needs. Give me Caleb Banks here at number 15. At number 16, you have the Detroit Lions, who've only played 2 games up until this point at the time of recording. Give me Connor Lew, another pick that I've made quite a bit here. I just think really it was Connor Lew or Francis Mauigoa for me here, but Mauigoa is just such a perfect right tackle prospect that it doesn't make sense for me to draft a right tackle and slide him over to left tackle when I have the best right tackle in football, or a top 2 or 3 right tackle in football, in Penei Sewell on that side. So really, I wouldn't really feel comfortable drafting Mauigoa to play left tackle. I don't really think he has the overall strength. I think he has the athleticism. I don't think he has the overall strength to play the position, and moving Sewell, who's an all-pro at right tackle, to go play left tackle just doesn't make sense to me. So we're going to go to the interior. We're going to upgrade over. I don't remember off the top of my head who their center is. I said it last week. I can't remember it right now. I know Connor McGovern is Buffalo. I don't remember off the top of my head. Is it Graham Glasnow? There we go. It's Graham Glasnow. I think that is someone that could be upgraded upon, or at least slide back over to a backup guard or backup center position. It's going to be Connor Lew here at number 16. And number 17, the first wide receiver comes off the board. We talked about Unk University over here in Washington with Noah Brown, Terry McLaurin, and Deebo Samuel. Let's get Jordan Tyson in there and really make this crazy. I mean, you want to talk about Unk University, even tight end Zach Ertz is old too. But let's get Jordan Tyson in there for Jaden Daniels and inevitably Marcus Mariota to throw the football to. I think that would be an amazing addition to that offense. At number 18, yes, we have the LA Rams yet again. Give me the best overall man-to-man corner in the entire draft class, who not only is a great man corner, is a great zone cover player as well, and Mansour Delaney. I think the secondary of the Rams, considering the talent that they have, has actually been really good so far through 3 games. But cornerback is a volatile position. Same thing with quarterback, same thing with offensive tackle, same thing with wide receiver. For me, I could never have too many good cornerbacks on my team. So give me Mansour Delaney here at number 18. At number 19, the Baltimore Ravens, I think, really need to upgrade the pass rush outside of Kyle Van Noy, who has just been so good in his career at just going to any situation and just playing really, really well. But he is getting up there in age, and it is beginning to show. Give me Cassius Howell here. Like I mentioned, the reason why I'm taking Cassius Howell here at number 19 overall is I know they have David Ojabo. I know they drafted Mike Green. Cassius Howell is such a pass rush specialist. While he could develop the other facets of his game, why not just bring him in there on a 2 down, on like a 2nd and long or like a 3rd down scenario where it's obvious pass rushing scenarios, and he could really work his magic. He's incredibly disruptive off the edge. He really knows how to slide into the B gap and just create unbelievable pressure in between the guard and the tackles. He's a phenomenal player, and he always finds himself in the backfield for Texas A&M. Give me Cassius Howell here at number 19. At number 20, you have the Cleveland Browns. And we're going to take Francis Mauigoa here because the tackle scenario for the Cleveland Browns is not great. You have Dawad Jones on one side. You have Jack Conklin on the other. Those are upgradable, in my opinion, especially Conklin, who is just never able to stay healthy nowadays. I feel like when you get a new franchise quarterback in there, let's get a cornerstone tackle, why don't we? So we're going to take Mauigoa here at number 20. The Cleveland Browns can't believe he gets there at number 20. At number 21, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Give me the Heisman favorite Johnny Mateer here at number 21. Man, any doubts that you probably have about Mateer, besides for one pretty bad interception against Auburn, were kind of silenced. The guy is just a playmaker at the quarterback level, at the quarterback position. I mean, off platform, in the pocket. The guy is a super athlete. He could run. He could throw with the best of them. He really is one of the better quarterback prospects in this draft class. If you asked me right now my top 3 quarterback prospects, or top 5, I'd say it'd probably be Mendoza, Sellers. Mateer would probably be 3. Then we're probably going Dante Moore or Sawyer Robertson, and then maybe like Drew Aller, something like that. I'm really all over the place when it comes to the quarterbacks because there's so many great athletes at the quarterback position in this year's draft class. You could make a case for 8 quarterbacks being taken in the first round, really, with the athletic upside. But give me Johnny Mateer there at number 21 as a successor to Aaron Rodgers. At number 22, you have the Minnesota Vikings here, who coming off an extremely impressive 48-10 victory over the Jake Browning-led Cincinnati Bengals here. Now we know why the Minnesota Vikings cut him. Remember that famous clip where he says, what did he say? He was like, why did you effing cut me or something like that, and like slams his helmet down, something along those lines. But yeah, I guess we saw why he was cut. But we're going to the cornerback position here. Give me DJ McKinney. Again, another guy that's been super impressive so far this year, so far last year as well. Run defense great again. Yeah, I don't really put too much stock into the overall numbers here because really, if you watch the Houston game, if you watch the Delaware game, really the guy is just playing great every single game. I run defense especially. Great tackler as well. So that's something that's huge from the secondary position. DJ McKinney is a player that I think Brian Flores could really just kind of mold into the complementary corner to Byron Murphy that he would need. So give me DJ McKinney here at number 22. Number 23, we have the Arizona Cardinals. We are going to take a wide receiver here. We're going to take Mekhi Lemon. It is so apparent to me. I said it last week, and I'll say it again this week. I know having 2 unbelievable weapons like Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride might seem like a lot. But man, we didn't really see Marvin Harrison Jr. in the San Francisco game until the fourth quarter where he made that 33-yard reception. He doesn't really create a lot of separation. I really do think he garners a ton of attention because Zay Jones and Michael Wilson are the other 2 wide receivers that are on the field with him at the same time. If you get someone like Mekhi Lemon in there who is just an unbelievable route runner, can take the ball across the field and score on any given play, if you give him an X factor on the other side, then you could watch Marvin Harrison Jr. create separation, create space on these one-on-one scenarios because Mekhi Lemon in that offense with Trey McBride, with a Trey Benson or a James Conner and Kyler Murray, that really forces you to go one-on-one with these guys across the field. And I think Mekhi Lemon is one of the more explosive wide receivers in this draft class. So give me him at number 23 here. At number 24, we're going to go to the interior of the offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks. I really like Jake Slaughter. I kind of go back and forth with these picks. I like edge. I do think that they do have quite a few players that could step up and hopefully play better as the season goes along. Give me Jake Slaughter here at number 24 to take over the center position. Have Gray Zabel playing left guard right now, Charles Cross, Abraham Lucas. The interior of the offensive line on the right side or the center position needs an upgrade. I think Jake Slaughter would be an immediate impact player. And you could just see it when the Seattle Seahawks try to run in between the tackles. It's just not great. Kenneth Walker had 2 rushing touchdowns on like 36 yards this week and did not look good in between the tackles. So, they really do try and run outside zone quite a bit, but it's tough when it's very predictable at that point. But moving on to number 25, you have the Cincinnati Bengals coming off of an awful loss. Give me a corner here. Give me Will Lee III. This is a player, again, that's super sticky, who really showcased his abilities in that Notre Dame game. I think he is an unbelievable player. Will Lee, what do they call him? Sticky Lee or something like that? I don't know where these grades are coming from, to be quite honest with you. You get forced incompletions, coverage stops. The guy has played really good so far this season. I don't know where this grade comes from, to be quite honest with you. That's why I don't put too much stock into the overall grades. It's all about the eyes. I mean, if a player makes a good play, and I see it, how am I not grading that anything other than 100? It doesn't make any sense to me. But Will Lee, the third, is my pick at number 25. At number 26, the second first round pick for the Dallas Cowboys, we went Peter Woods with the first round pick. We're going to go back to the defensive line, and we're going to take David Bailey. They didn't sack Caleb Williams once. That is also a quarterback that I'm pretty sure took the most sacks in the NFL last year. So, that's telling to me. David Bailey is a super good all-around player. A little bit smaller than I'd like at 6'3", 255 pounds, but he's incredibly disruptive. He definitely made his presence felt in that Utah game. This is a player that I think is really, really well-rounded as a football player, good run defender, can disrupt the quarterback at a consistent basis. Give me David Bailey here at number 26. At 27, this is a pick that I've made quite a few times. I'm going to keep making it. I do think the line is looking a little old and a little readable for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And of course, that's David, even though he didn't look too great, again, to be honest with you. And Servassier Dennis is good. I know that they like him, but I think having someone as athletic and as good in coverage as Sonny Styles would just be, especially for Todd Bowles, his blitzing ability as well. I think you're getting an all-around superstar for a defensive wizard in Todd Bowles with Sonny Styles. At number 28, unfamiliar territory for the 3-0 Indianapolis Colts, led by Indiana Jones. And I said it last week, I'll say it again. I'm so upset that I love that nickname. That's one of the harder nicknames in football. Give me a quarterback, though. We're over this fad here. Give me Dante Moore. This is a new player here in my mock drafts. The guy's been unbelievable so far this year. And he really just passes he passes all the eye tests for me. He's quick, compact with his delivery. He senses pressure really, really well. He's incredibly mobile. He's on time, and the velocity on the ball is good. He can make any throw on the field. He's a player that I think could benefit from staying another year in college, if we're being quite honest with you. But right now, I'm going to capitalize off of the momentum. I'm going to take Dante Moore. I think Dante Moore with Shane Steichen would be a really, really fun watch. So we're going to take Dante Moore here at number 28. At number 29, you have the Buffalo Bills here. Give me Chris Bell. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I just kind of feel like the Buffalo Bills need something more at the wide receiver position. It seems like Dalton Kincaid has figured it out. He seems like he's Josh Allen's favorite target so far this year. Keon Coleman's had a couple of pretty decent games. He looks like he's coming into his own, but he's not a alpha wide receiver one to me. Khalil Shakir is a good slot receiver. Josh Palmer is not that alpha one. Give me someone like Chris Bell that could win those 50-50 balls down the field, that is incredibly fast, that is incredibly physical, 6'2", 220 pounds. He could play all over the offensive formation for you and for Joe Brady. I think it's an instant upgrade for me over those guys. It's an instant upgrade over Josh Palmer, in my opinion. And I know you just signed him to a 3-year deal, but that's not going to stop me from drafting a player that I think that's better. So give me Chris Bell here at number 29. At number 30, you have the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think some pass rush help off the edge is in order here. Give me Mateo Ugalele. Again, I said it last week. I'll say it again. I'm probably saying, I know that with the Samoan or the Hawaiian pronunciation, I know there's an N somewhere in there, but I am not smart enough to say it. So I'm just going to say Ugalele. Mateo Ugalele has been a fantastic player so far this year for the Oregon Ducks. 3 sacks in the first 4 games. Incredibly disruptive. I think he has a really good run defense grade as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, pretty good. The run stop rate is garbage, but I'm not really too concerned with that. The overall, he's there to rush the passer. Let's get that straight. He's having his best season so far. You got 3 sacks, 2 hits, 7 hurries, 2 batted passes as well. On 69 pass rushing snaps is really, really good in my opinion. So we're going to get Ugalele here over a couple other guys that I think could be worthy of that pick. Gabe Jackas is another player. Danny Dennis Sutton. Kenyatta Jackson is a player that I've been quite enamored with over the past few weeks. R. Mason Thomas. He's just someone that's just a pure pass rushing specialist for me. He was incredibly disruptive when he came back in the second half against Auburn, but I'm going to hold off on him for now as a first round pick. He'll probably sneak in there in the next coming weeks or so, but give me Ugalele here at number 30. At number 31, a pick that I made 2 weeks ago. I'll make it again. Give me Chandler Rivers to be the new slot corner for the Los Angeles Raiders here. I think Rivers kind of fits exactly what Jesse Minter and Jim Harbaugh are looking for in a defensive back. Look at these numbers. This is fantastic. I mean, 3 forced incompletions, 2 coverage stops, missed tackle, whatever it may be. Look at the coverage grade, 80.1, 79.3 zone coverage. This is a player that just knows how to coverage. Look, 130 coverage snaps, 12 targets, 7 receptions, 72 yards. The guy has been unbelievable so far this year for the Duke Blue Devils. Give me Chandler Rivers here to kind of go into a different blue, a powder blue this time. And with the last pick at number 32, the San Francisco 49ers, who are going to win the Super Bowl, I guess, who are 3-0 and somehow are 3-0. And I think I picked against them all 3 weeks, so I really need to get it together. But with the last pick here, we're going to go to the offensive line. I keep saying it. I think that we need a long-term a long-term successor to Trent Williams here at left tackle. Give me Isaiah World. He hasn't been the greatest for Oregon. The step up in competition has been a little difficult for him, but he still has flashed some really, really good tendencies that he flashed with the Nevada Wolfpack as well. So again, another player that I think could start on the right or on the left. He's never started a game at right tackle, but at 6'8", 308 pounds, I think he possesses the length and the overall athleticism to be able to, kick out to that second, third level to lead McCaffrey. At the left tackle, he could pancake defenders as well. He's incredibly strong. I think he has a good power package for the left side as well. So give me Isaiah World to end out this mock draft after week 3 of the 2025-26 NFL season. And just like that, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There is my 2026 mock draft after week 3 of the 2025-26 NFL season, or almost after week 3 of the 2025-26 NFL season. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But a little bit of a crazy one this year, but you know what? I figured we would have fun with it. It's so early in the year where we could really just play around with these players, and it doesn't really mean too much to these fan bases just yet. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I see you in the next one.